YouTube. Welcome back to another episode of Hashtag Screws Kitchen, Hashtag Screws Tube. I mean, you already know the vibes. Stick around. So to start this off, we going with some chicken, some thighs, and legs. Like I always tell y'all, man, like the best parts of the chicken to make soups and stews with is, bone-in chicken, man. It's something about the marrow. It gives off that flavor, that extra health benefit, man. Right? So we going with a tablespoon of onion powder, right? Then another tablespoon of all-purpose seasoning. And we have one more tablespoon. It's always a reoccurring theme with the actual measurement, right? And then we have some chicken seasoning, right? Insert episode here where I told y'all what the definition of cock means. All right, right? Then we going with another teaspoon of black pepper. And then we have some Himalayan salt, man. Pink salt. Try it out. I guarantee you'll never not mess with this salt again, right? But with that, we just do like about a teaspoon or so, right? And as I always tell y'all regularly, you just take your hands and you work this in, man. You massage this and let it season for let it marinate for about 12 hours or so. If you don't have the time, then a half an hour to an hour is just fine. Here we have our aromatics, right? This is essential to soups, right? So what we have here, we have a couple cloves of garlic, some carrot, quarter of a turnip or half of a turnip depending, some yellow onion or white onion, a couple stalks of celery, and some parsley. Now to a hot pan of oil, we add in all of our chicken, right? We want to kind of give this a quick sear. You don't want to cook this chicken just yet. You just want to brown it off to give it a little bit of extra flavor. And it's just that simple, man. We let this go for about 3 to 4 minutes per side, depending on the size of your chicken also. Watch the flip. Oh yeah, that's the color we're looking for. Don't ask me why I turned it back over. I'll get back to it. But we just flip everything to the other side, and then, we come back in about another 3 minutes or so, and then we remove it from the pot. So after these have been flipped on the other side for 3 minutes, we just come back, we take them out, set them to the side for later. You don't want to cook this all the way because this chicken will break up and turn stringy. I don't know if you prefer it that way, but if you do, try it out that way. And if not, then, kind of stick to the script. Now to our smoking hot pan. We add in our aromatics, garlic, onion, carrot, parsley, celery, turnip, all those things. Add that in, and then we just literally let those kind of brown off, right? Because the more you let things caramelize, is the more the flavor deepens, right? You could taste something, but when you caramelize it, you taste it even more, right? So being that it's a soup, you want to really bring out the flavor of these things so that they stand out on their own. You feel me? And that's pretty much it, right? You just, get this going, until some of the water from the actual celery starts to, come out a little bit. And then we can keep going with our cooking process. Now I could have let these brown just a little bit more, but just for cautionary purposes, I let it stay like this, right? It came out just fine regardless. Now to this, we add about 8 cups of water, right? And then we're gonna add another 2 to 3 in later, right? But this is just to start the base of the soup, so this is what it is for right now. Just make sure everything is incorporated. All of those brown bits that we had on the bottom, like I always tell y'all, get those up, get those into the liquid, because that is flavor, people. So here we add in our last 2 to 3 cups of water, and you want to reduce the heat down to low and keep that covered for about another half an hour or so, because all of this garlic and celery and everything like that, we want that to kind of like melt into the sauce. Did I just say sauce? You know the vibes. But now here we going with 2 ears of corn, 1 chocho, and 2 Irish or, Idaho potatoes, right? And we cut those up, set those to the side for later. If you don't know what chocho is, you can also go back to episode 15 to check that out as well. Then here we come back about a half an hour later, just checking on, the tenderness and things like that of the actual vegetables. Just checking on them just to see where we are, right? Because you can't add certain things in because they'll cook all the way out, right? So to this we add some thyme. Thyme is my favorite herb. Then we add in 3 leaves of bay leaves. That's kind of redundant, but you know the vibes. Then we add in some pimento seed and just a little bit of turmeric. You can add in as much as you want. I went about a tablespoon or so. Now normally I would get pumpkin, but when I went to my market that I usually go to buy these things, they didn't have any pumpkin, so this is what we ended up with, and it still came out fire if you ask me, and you could try it yourself and figure it out on your own. This came out absolutely fire, right? So we let that rock for about another 15 minutes or so on the same low heat, and as you can see, these vegetables are coming along quite nicely. You feel me? So to this, again, we add some cock noodle soup. It's chicken noodle soup, people. Please don't get caught up in the names of things. Go back to episode 15 and check it out, right? But anyway, to this, we just add the entire contents of the packet. And then we bring in our corn, our chocho, and our potatoes, because these things cook at different temperatures, right? You want these at levels of doneness, right? You want to layer your soup as much as possible. If you would have added the corn and in the chocho and the potato in earlier, by the time the soup is done, you're not gonna get a taste of it. Like it's just gonna be just swimming in the pot. So just layer it and make sure that you regulate your time as well as your heat while you're adding these ingredients, right? So while we add these in, we let that go for about another 15 minutes, and you bring the heat up to about almost to medium. And like I said, people, you just want to always be able to know what cooks for how long at what temperature, right? And being that we're cooking all of this at the same temperature, you want to make sure that you know what cooks when and how long. You feel me? So you don't want to add in the chocho too early. You don't want to add in the corn too early. Things of that nature. You want to layer every step of this soup. All right? Like I said in the curry shrimp video, food is a community, man. When you have things over here and things over here, buildings over there, buildings over there, when they come together, it makes a community, right? So you just always want to be mindful of that. Right, so after the 15 minutes or so, we add in our chicken into the liquid. Like I said, you don't want to overcook it before. You don't want to fully cook it when you first sear it off because of this particular process. You want the chicken to still be intact when you make your bowl of it and be cool, right? Now here we're making some spinners and some regular, wheel dumpling. And if you don't know how to make dumpling, please click the I card in the top right hand corner of the video to redirect you on the video to show you how to do those as well, right? But this is literally the ending of the process. So as you see, when you start making your dumpling and you get this together, by the time the dumpling is cooked, everything in the pot should be cooked. It will be cooked if you regulated your heat and you took your time, excuse me, to do everything that you were supposed to do the correct way. These literally take about 15 to 20 minutes depending on the amount. So after 15 to 20 minutes in this particular step, your soup is done, family. Trust me. This is a soup that eats like a meal, folks. Anytime you're feeling feverish in the wintertime, try this out, man. Tell me how it makes you feel afterward. You know what I mean? Now here we have the end result, folks. You know, thanks for tapping in with me each and every single week, every time that I upload. Please make sure you drop a like, share, and subscribe. You know, I do this for y'all, man. You know, so till next time, bless.